All right, hey everybody, this is Infamous. This is the Dead Air Podcast, second attempt at episode whatever. I don't give a shit. All right, anyway, it is the first conversation. We already did all of this, and it got messed up, so we are doing it again. The first topic is South Park: Stick of Truth.
Oh yeah, original people here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Chris, aka Larry Bird. We're here with Scoops, aka Stephen Wilds.
What's up?
And the hater of everything beautiful, Ulysses.
Hey there, guys.
I apologize for my enthusiasm is just dead now.
The Dead Air podcast was experiencing some dead air there for a while.
Shut up.
Anyway,
It's true.
the first topic, South Park: Stick of Truth. I just got the game Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those days. Played it. I don't like RPGs. I'm a fan of South Park, not a big fan. So I came in this game. It was very funny. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Only thing I didn't like, what's so funny?
Just rushing through this. I know we've already done it, but they haven't heard it yet.
I'm saying everything. Look, let me work. Only thing I didn't like about
this episode's going down quick.
Maybe the least professional person I know. I'm throwing that out there.
Says the person
I'm sorry.
His chair squeaking and shit.
I'm sorry, Steve here. I forgot about Steve here. He's the least professional person I know. You're
second.
second.
Out.
All right. Anyway, the only thing I did not like about South Park: Stick of Truth was the map because, and just like the level, sometimes you have to go around a lot of stuff just to get back to where you wanted to go in the first place, and sometimes it kind of gets annoying. Other than that, though, I had fun with the game. It was funny. It was fun. Is anybody here thinking of actually buying South Park?
Yes,
yeah.
I plan on getting it.
I am actually.
As soon as the price drops a little bit or I get through with some of these other games on my list, I've been watching some playthroughs of it, and I've really enjoyed it. I know you said you didn't like the RPG aspect of it, but it looks more RPG light as opposed to some of the heavier RPGs, especially like Japanese RPGs that can really bog stuff down with too many numbers and mechanics systems and all that. So I'm looking forward to it. I think Chris earlier was the one that said it looks like you're playing an episode of the show.
Cool.
And that's good. I gave you credit. I gave you credit for it.
Yeah, but I wanted to say it.
Say it. Say it now. Say it.
It looks like an episode, an actual episode from the later seasons.
It's done.
Well, anyway, one thing I do like about the game is the 4 classes they have. Fighter, you have fighter, typical fighter, mage, typical, thief, typical, and then you have Jew.
Yeah. And Cartman says we can't be friends if you're picking the Jew class.
Here's a description on the South Park game wiki. A paladin/monk type class invented by Cartman, described as being high risk, high reward. The player becomes more powerful the closer they are to death.
It's terrible.
I wanted something to say about that because I made a black character and I chose thief, and he said, "You look sneaky enough." And then when I picked fighter, he said a black fighter. That's scarier. So I forgot what he said exactly. Wow. But I took offense. Damn it.
Oh, man. Beautiful.
Imagine if you were a Jewish kid playing it.
Jews, they're okay. Anyway.
Well, is it one of the creators Jewish?
I'm sure. I don't know.
All right. So the reason we're talking about South Park is to go into our main topic. What cartoons would you like to see a good video game for? I'm stressing good because obviously we've seen a lot of cartoon video games that were not very good at all, and these cartoons that you may pick may have had games before, but they were not good. So we start with Ulysses. What cartoon would you like to see a good video game for?
All right, there's 2 cartoons that come to mind. The first one being I want some game company to finally get off their ass and make a decent Superman game. I know it's possible. I know Superman 64 was an abomination of mankind, but it can be done, and I know it can.
And it should be done.
And it really should. Mm-hmm. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, but if Spider-Man could get a good one, I'm pretty sure Batman could get a good one. I mean, Superman, I'm sorry. The other cartoon I want a really fun game out of is Mummies Alive. I'm not sure if any of you guys seen it.
Yeah, I've seen like an episode or 2.
Yeah.
All right, just to give the listeners an idea of what the show is, just think of it as exactly like the old hammy cartoony Ninja Turtles cartoon, but with mummies. That's pretty much it. They all have distinct personalities and everything. They all have distinct powers. But and just like the Ninja Turtles, I want it to be a fun beat 'em up like Turtles in Time, or like the X-Men arcade. I just wanted it to be a fun beat 'em up, and I think it could be possible.
All right, Chris, what cartoon would you like to see a video game for?
Well, I'd like to see a cartoon by the name of Ed, Edd n Eddy to be made into a good game, because they had there was a game for that franchise back in I think it was on like the GameCube or PS2, and it was actually half decent, and I would really like to see another good one by somebody.
All right, next up, Scoops, what cartoon would you like to see a video game for?
Okay, I got 3 actually. Here we go. 1, Archer. There's no reason not to have a good Archer, a good Archer video game. I'm not exactly sure the exact way I would want it done, but I would.
Reskin.
I was about to say. I mean, I would take, like, if anybody remembers the James Bond Jr. game.
Yeah.
I would just take that. I'd reskin it, leave the gameplay the exact same. It was bad, but just have. Seriously, just have the voice cast of Archer doing jokes and stuff over it. Throw in some random, like, cameos and references. Gold. I'd buy it 5 times. All right. Second one is there is never, to my knowledge, been an actually good G.I. Joe video game. Why is that? Why is this not a thing yet? If you've been keeping up with the new Transformers series that they've done, like Fall of Cybertron and all
those are actually pretty fun.
They're really good. And the story's not bad. I mean, I don't. Is it Mainframe or somebody? I can't remember. I don't remember the company that's doing it. I knew that company loved the product though. If you beat, I think it's the second one. Like if you get, I think if you beat it on medium or whatever or hard, you actually get the song from the '80s Transformers movie. It plays at the end.
Oh, that's awesome.
The big epic song, I can't remember the name of it right now, by Stan Bush. But anyway, in the last one, the one I think Telltale should get the license for, and they would be great, is a Rick and Morty video game.
All right, what is Rick and Morty?
It's a cartoon. It's on Cartoon Network, I believe. And they don't do like normal seasons from what I've seen. They are kind of just making the episodes along as they go, because there's only like 6 episodes so far. I haven't read up on the production because I just discovered this cartoon. I'd seen the first episode and wasn't too impressed with it, so I didn't really look into it. And then all of my friends were like, no, you got to give it another shot. So we watched a couple more episodes, and really it's hilarious. It's the whole premise is basically what if Doc Brown from Back to the Future was crazy-er and retarded almost, and then he took, instead of Marty, he took his I think it's his like grandkid or whatever on all of his adventures with him and just totally fucked him up just beyond belief. Like at one point, slight spoiler, at one point they have to kill other dimensional versions of themselves to correct an issue. And so they're out there like burying themselves, and you can tell that like Morty just can't deal with it. He's having so much trouble dealing with this fact. And Rick's like, no, this happens all the time. Don't worry. But anyway,
I actually have seen commercials for that show.
Yeah.
On like YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah. But I love it. I really do. But I think a point and click style adventure, with like Telltale or somebody doing it, could really make this an awesome game.
All right, so I had a lot of trouble with this actually because I kept thinking of games that I would like to see. I mean, cartoons I would like to see a game for, and then I would remember that they had a game and it was either good or whatever. And some cartoons that I did like, but I probably wouldn't want to play a video game for. So I'm just going to say a couple that might make good video games. Maybe a good Thundercats game. Maybe I don't know. Maybe a good He-Man game.
Okay,
I could see that.
Maybe a good Thundercats game would be pretty fun. I don't know if it would work.
There's obviously like a market for that.
Yeah. Wait, I agree with you. Why is He-Man not had a good game? That seems like a simple beat 'em up.
Because it's too easy to have like. It's too easy to make fun of it.
I guess. I mean, I see your point there, but that just seems like it almost like markets itself.
Yeah, I just think that those concepts with Thundercats He-Man would make for a good video game. I don't know who would do it. I don't know how it would, if it would work.
Rockstar get on it.
Yeah,
Rockstar
somebody get
could work
Rockstar
out.
on that shit right now.
Silver Dollar Games.
Rockstar do an Inspector Gadget video game or something.
Yeah.
Possibilities are endless. Anything else before any other cartoons? Just throw it out there that maybe you didn't list.
Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century.
Of course. Should have seen that one coming. Does anybody remember the was it the Bionic 6? It was like the family of all Bionic
No.
Nobody remembers that. Okay. Basically, if you're familiar with like the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman and all that, they basically did a cartoon, but instead of using the main characters, they made this family, and it was the Bionic Six. It was 6 members of the family. Anyway, there was a rumor for a while that they were going to do kind of a Simpsons arcade style beat 'em up, but with that IP, and I actually still think that would have been a really cool game had they ever made it, but it got canceled.
Let's get a Captain Planet one too.
Oh yeah.
The only other show I could think of that I would really like a game out of, and I'm surprised they haven't made at least a good one, is the Men in Black cartoon. I would like to see that as a game, because I think that'd be funny.
I remember they had a game like on PlayStation 1, but it was horrible, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right. I think they did have one. Wow.
Yeah, they did make one. They also made one for this gen, for like the PS3 or whatnot, and it was just bad.
Oh yeah, I heard.
Oh man.
Alien Crisis or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, we're going to talk, speaking of new games, since we talked about South Park, we're going to talk about a trailer that was just released, Arkham Knight, which is obviously a Batman game. It's the finale of the Arkham series. The trailer showed Penguin, Two-Face, Harley Quinn, some others, obviously Batman. And it's done by Rocksteady this time, unlike Origins, which had a lot of complaints with, especially with Warner Brothers saying they weren't going to actually fix the game. But we're going to start off with you, Stephen Wiles, aka Scoops. What did you think of the Arkham Knight trailer, and what are you looking forward to with this game?
I really enjoyed the trailer. It was a beautiful trailer, well done. Of course, there's no in-game footage. I saw that it's supposed to come out by the end of the year, and all the previous games have really come out, towards that end of October, early November kind of area. So I'm thinking it's going to be around the same time. The trailer showed off a lot of different bad guys, but it looks like that Scarecrow is going to be the one that's kind of the main bad guy for this one, and that's a very interesting choice, and could be really awesome depending on the writing. I need to look up and see who's actually writing the story for this one, because it's not Paul Dini who wrote the first two, which stinks because he's an amazing writer. But I have confidence in Rocksteady. They probably picked someone else good to do this one as well. I love the idea and the comparisons that people are making to it being more of a GTA-style Batman game, with, one of the big features, of course, in this time being a drivable Batmobile. And I don't know. I was really excited about it, and I hate to say this, but one of the things that excited me the most was just seeing Rocksteady's name attached to it, because I didn't hate Arkham Origins. I actually enjoyed it. It's just the weakest of the three that have come out so far. And after realizing kind of that WB Montreal was more focused on doing DLC instead of actually fixing their game, it left a sour taste in my mouth. So now I'm much more excited for this one.
Ulysses, you had I don't want to say, issue, I guess, with the whole Batmobile thing. Maybe not an issue, but what did you think about that?
All right. The issue, I guess you could say, that I have with the Batmobile is that we've all played at least Arkham City here, and we've all said that, like, swinging through the city, it wasn't like a chore. It really wasn't that difficult. It wasn't that time consuming. So I don't see the true necessity of the car, because me personally, I found it really fun using the grappling hook and using that to fly across the city, acting like if I'm Superman and whatnot. So I don't really see the appeal of the car yet. I don't know if they're going to make the map that much larger, like if they're going to make it like Grand Theft Auto 5 or even that larger. So as of now, I don't, the car, like I know in the trailer, the car is like right there in front of you, nice and shiny, trying to, and for me that's not much of a selling point, but because like I said, the grappling hook for me is fine enough. Like other than that, I'm like really really excited for Arkham Knight because the first two in the series were good. Arkham Asylum was fun. Arkham City was even better. And for me personally, the only problem that Arkham Origins had is that it was the game preceding Arkham City, which was just masterfully done. The bugs did get annoying. The game did crash on me more than one occasion. But other than that, like I know I'm just like Steven, I'm really happy that Rocksteady is back in control. But even more so, I'm happy that Kevin Conroy is back. That alone makes me want to buy the game.
Chris, what did you think about Arkham Knight?
My experience with that franchise is I played all of Arkham Asylum, and I played a little bit of City, and I did not play any of Origins. But it seems that Harley Quinn's going to be in there for a lot of it, is what it seems like, just judging on the trailer, which we know it could go either way. And I do not like that, because I did not like the Harley Quinn sections of Asylum. They actually were probably part of my least favorite. And also, I do like the inclusion of Two-Face and also Penguin, who we now know is not Kingpin.
Yes.
But
despite popular belief.
Yeah, but if the trailer is, I mean, if the game looks anything like the trailer, it's going to be one beautiful game. That trailer looked like really close to real life. I like it so far. Once I get a next gen console or current gen console now, that will be one of the first games I pick up.
I liked Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. I didn't play Arkham Origins. I was going to until they said they wouldn't fix anything, and I just said fuck it. But I think I'm tired of the whole Arkham thing. I would like just a regular Batman where it's not like this. Obviously, this one is seeming like it may be different with the whole Batmobile. There, it might be more so like sounding like more so like Gotham than I guess in Arkham Asylum you were in the asylum for most of it, or maybe a little bit outside of it and so on. But I just want like a regular Batman game because I remember I liked Batman Vengeance. If anybody remembers that, it was like Batman the animated series kind of.
Yeah. That was the Vengeance of Sun Tzu or something like that. Is that the one you're talking about? It was on Super Nintendo or something.
No, I know what you're talking about, but
I may be getting confused. They did a couple of different games that were based off the animated series, and the two I played I remembered being pretty good.
Yeah, I just wanted like a regular Batman game, but this one might be good. Who knows?
And this one is the last one of the Arkham series, you know.
Oh, so. Rocksteady's run.
Yeah, that's true. But Warner Brothers is pretty good about that. They usually, I want to say it was Machinima that pointed out that if you kind of look back at a lot of their franchises, they usually do about four to six games in a franchise, and then they either reboot the franchise or they, take a different approach to it. They usually change it up somehow. So hopefully they're kind of getting the idea too that as cool as this series is, maybe it's time to do a little something different. And you don't have to change the mechanics, you don't have to change what works, but maybe change the approach. And Chris and I were talking. I find it interesting because the character of Harley Quinn, a lot of people in the comics love, but I'm realizing she's a very polarizing character now in the actual games. And so I think one thing that will be good for them, and I know this is going to be kind of hard to do with Batman because he has such an infamous rogues gallery, but is to change up some of the people of who you're fighting. So maybe even, just hear me out, why not next time, instead of doing a Batman game, do a Flash game or do a Green Arrow game or Nightwing, do something different.
I'm all for a Flash game.
Oh, I just thought of another cartoon that would be good for a video game. The Teen Titans, if anybody had seen those. That was really
yeah, those were good.
And also, more information, Arkham Knight is not referring to Batman. It's actually a separate character that's going to be introduced in the game. So
interesting. Maybe it's Azrael? No, they already introduced him in City. Never mind.
Was it? He was in.
He was one of the side missions on Arkham City.
Yeah, he's the one who left that mysterious sign, right?
Oh, maybe. Anyway, we're staying on the subject of video games, and we're about to go into maybe the biggest video game news of the past decade.
Oh, the last century,
maybe
probably.
the last since video games were created. Ladies and gentlemen, the return of Shaq Fu is upon us. Shaq Fu 2 is coming, and is being funded on Indiegogo. You can go there. We're going to put the link in the description because this needs to be made.
Yeah.
They have already got 23,000 out of their 450,000 goal. For $400, Shaq will follow you on Instagram. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Shaq Diesel himself will give you a
only
follow on
$400 though.
Yeah, for only $500, he'll give you a follow. He'll probably unfollow you 2 weeks later. Yeah,
it's $500. Yeah. For $500, he better follow me until Instagram is no longer popular.
And to be honest, Shaq would probably unfollow you like 2 weeks afterwards or some shit.
He'll probably never like a photo of yours and shit.
He'll just follow you. All right.
What do you do that? Like, hey, you have to follow me, but you also have to like at least 2 out of every 10 things I post. You know?
Yeah. He has to interact at least.
Have a contract.
$500 for $25,000. You can have dinner with Shaq. I don't know where.
I don't know.
I don't know
if you would still want to eat after like sitting across the table watching Shaq eat. Like that might make me not want to eat ever.
And is he going to like pay for the food, or is he going to like split the bill? I already paid like $25,000, and then for $35,000, the biggest prize is a trip to TNT to meet the guys that inside the NBA and staff and all that. So you'll meet Shaq and Ernie and Kenny and Charles and all of those guys for $35,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to discuss Shaq Fu 2. So, we'll start off with you. What?
Wait, first of all, I want you to tell me, you seem way too excited about this. Why do you want Shaq Fu 2 to be a thing?
The question is, why shouldn't it be a thing?
Exactly. Why shouldn't it be a thing?
I mean,
did you play Shaq Fu?
I did play Shaq.
You know it was horrible,
but
right?
we're talking about Shaq Fu 2 here. This is a whole other ball game.
And you think somehow...
Did you not see the tagline?
Be horrible? Yeah. The tagline was the best part of that trailer. The trailer was neat. They made a little trailer for it. You should go watch it.
Yes.
But the tagline was, "We won't foo this one up like last time." And that was the funniest part.
Possibilities are endless with this game.
Like, my favorite part of that whole trailer was just Shaq's design, because Shaq will admit to this. That man has never was that fit ever in his life. So that shit is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
He looked like Sagat.
Looked
like Sagat from Street Fighter.
I want this thing to be a thing more than anything ever.
To be honest, when I was watching the trailer, I thought it was a fake until I saw the Indiegogo logo at the end. I was like, wait, this is actually real.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's going to be like the same way or if it's going to be like actual like story with him fighting. Not like a game
it looks like it's a beat 'em up.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a Mortal Kombat clone or whatever that they tried. Right. Well, I don't even know what they tried to clone with Shaq Fu 1, but it doesn't seem like that anymore.
You know how they say E.T. is like the worst game in existence, the E.T. game?
Yeah.
Like Shaq Fu has to be number 3, right? I mean, because I think it goes E.T., Superman, 64.
Shaq Fu is nowhere near that list. He is on that game is on the polar opposite list.
You were wrong, sir. Your argument is invalid.
That game was truly one of the most awful things to ever be invented by man.
Shaq Fu.
But yeah, Shaq Fu is just so go
ahead.
I'm gonna predict it now. Shaq Fu 2, greatest selling game of all time. It will make $2 billion in the first day.
I will call you on that bullshit, and I will also say that after watching Infamous play through Michael Jordan's Chaos in the Windy City, I think that Michael Jordan should be DLC for Shaq Fu 2. I'm just going to throw that out there.
That's part of the possibility. That's what he should do. He should have, inside the NBA where he works, he should have Charles Barkley in the game with Ernie and Kenny and have them like his DLC that he was talking about. That would bring attention
Reggie
to
Miller and like someone else going to be like commentating during the whole game and whatnot.
Steve Kerr.
Yeah, Steve Kerr and Reggie Miller, the whole game, they'll be commentating.
Which one did you tell me had AIDS?
Magic Johnson.
Okay, is he going to be DLC?
Maurice Cheeks is the one with AIDS.
I don't think they can risk him bleeding on the game.
Who the hell is Maurice Cheeks?
That's a guy in the NBA.
Maurice Cheeks?
He's a guy who used to be in the NBA. His name is Mo Cheeks. That is his real name.
That's something off the damn Boondocks. Mo Cheeks was a character on Boondocks.
He's the one who saved that poor girl from embarrassing herself.
Yep. Oh god. Anyway, so I think all of those people should be DLC, and I will support Shaq Fu too. Maybe like with $1 or something, if for nothing else, just so Infamous has to play it on his channel. Hell, I'll play it on my channel. I will find a way. Both of us will play it against each other. So I don't know.
If you donate $15, you get an automatic copy of the game.
And see, that's tempting. That is tempting. That's $15 that could be spent on anything else.
You're gonna need that for alcohol in order to get through probably playing.
I would support this game if they promised me that one of the end bosses is the Dikembe Mutombo and
oh my gosh, please.
That's if they do that, I'll be happy. Like he just has to fight the great centers of NBA history and whatnot.
I apologize, Shaq, but
that's the guy that goes no, not in my house.
Yeah.
That guy. Okay, I remember a commercial.
All right, so Shaq, I'm not donating though, but still make it and I'll play it. But I'm not donating.
It has to happen. But my money.
If this game does happen, I will buy that game. I'm just putting that out there.
It has to happen. But the reason it happens has to be due to other people's money, not mine. So.
All right. Do any of you? I mean, besides Steven, because I know this is obvious. Watch NBA Insider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Shaqtin' a Fool bit.
Yeah.
JaVale McGee should be the final boss.
Yeah, that would be funny.
JaVale doesn't need. Anyway.
Dun dun dun. I don't.
All right, this is our last topic, and it is about Sony making a Last of Us film. Naughty Dog bosses Evan Wells and Christopher B, because I don't even want to try to say that, are teaming up with Evil Dead director Sam Raimi for the film, and the Last of Us directors Neil Druckmann and Bruce Staley, whatever, will be involved as well. So we'll start with you, Ulysses. Do you think this is going to be a good movie? Because we've obviously seen a lot of bad video game movies.
And try to avoid spoilers, because yet again, I am still not through this game.
You're killing us.
I promise you,
What's taking so long?
I just keep not playing it. It's
not like you do anything.
You're killing us, Mom. Anyway, well, I was completely against this when you first originally told me, because I'm like, anyone who has played The Last of Us, that game already feels like a movie. If like everything in there was just so beautifully timed, so perfectly executed. Until you mentioned Sam Raimi's name, because I like Sam Raimi. I'm a supporter of Sam Raimi. And I think he can, of all people that I know, I think he could possibly pull it off. But as much as I am a fan of Sam Raimi, I do not want them to touch that game at all. Just leave it the way it was. Troy Baker and I believe Ashley Johnson is her name, did a perfect job voicing those characters. I cannot imagine anyone else playing those people. And I don't know. I love that game so much. If, as any of you guys remember, that was the game I actually picked for the Game of the Year last year. And if they make it into a movie, they're going to have to cut out a lot of things. They're going to have to condense a lot. And part of The Last of Us that worked so well was the atmosphere, was the timing. And I just don't want them to ruin that at all. And I don't know. Sam Raimi, I love you, man, but don't make the movie. Just don't make the movie.
I like how Ulysses said when you told him, and by that he means like 2 hours ago.
Yes.
We'll start. All right, Scoops, what do you think about The Last of Us film being made?
Just like when they started talking about the Uncharted, when Naughty Dog does such a great job that you don't need the movies. Hell, in The Last of Us, this is not a spoiler, Chris, but once you do beat it, you have an option to just go back and watch all the cutscenes together, and it's practically the movie's right there, you know?
Yeah.
Also, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but there's an aspect of the game that I don't think would be easy to recreate in a movie setting, you know, and I saw Felicia Day put out a tweet that actually said, Are they going to focus on all the time I spent OCD searching through every cabinet and crate and every little thing? And that's, you know what, that's a funny joke, but that's also a really good point. Part of The Last of Us was the exploration, and I don't know. I think I would rather them do something else. And I agree with Ulysses that the voice actors did an amazing job. There was so much character development that I can't talk about because Chris can't get off his ass to finish this damn game. But the point is that I don't think they can do it better. You know, and I like Sam Raimi, but I don't think they can do a better job. And maybe I'll end up being wrong. It's happened before, not often, you know, but it's happened. I don't know. I'd rather them do something else.
All right, Chris, what do you think about the Last of Us movie being made?
I would actually watch it, like, even because I would obviously complete the game. Well, maybe not complete the game first.
You say that.
You're going to see the movie first.
Yeah.
That's cute.
But anyway, I would like to see. It'd be interesting to see what it's like, and also I think it'd be kind of ironic if they cast Ellen Page as Ellie.
I thought that, but she's kind of too old.
Yeah,
she kind of hates
She
her.
obviously, yeah, she does.
And I don't think she would do it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
Oh,
There you go.
I don't think games that feel like movies can be made into movies, like Uncharted and Last of Us, and just games that feel like, because I think maybe even Heavy Rain. I know they're talking about doing the Heavy Rain movie, but I don't think those are going to work out. But it's a game like probably the best, to me at least, the best video game movie was probably like the first Mortal Kombat. And back then, that wasn't. I mean,
that
look
is
at the
best video game movie. That is the best video game movie ever.
And you can't say that the first Mortal Kombat, those old Mortal Kombats were like a movie. So I don't think that those type of games can be made into good movies.
I will agree with you on Heavy Rain. Well, I'm sorry. I will. I don't know. Heavy Rain, I think they could actually do a better version. But that's because there are certain aspects of Heavy Rain that really depended on you, the player. And a lot of different people had different experiences in Heavy Rain, you know. Also, I don't think the voice acting was as good in Heavy Rain as it was in The Last of Us. And that's not a knock on any of the voice actors from Heavy Rain. I think there is some room for improvement there. Whereas with The Last of Us, there's a lot less room for improvement.
They would have to change a lot for Heavy Rain too, because there's a lot of things in Heavy Rain that don't really make too much sense.
I mean, I love Heavy Rain, but it's not, you know, the best written story. It's not the best voice acted. It's just, it was a lot of fun. It was different and it was fun.
There's a lot of holes in the story, but it is a good game.
Yeah, that's why. I was also very proud of myself for figuring out who the killer was before the actual end of the game. But the sequel, what is it, Beyond Two Souls? It's not a sequel to that, but it was their no. It was their next game. Because you're playing it right now, right?
Oh,
Infamous?
I'm doing the same thing Chris is doing with Last of Us with Beyond, basically.
All right. Well, Beyond Two Souls, I haven't started playing yet. I plan on getting it soon.
Dafoe.
Yeah, it's Willem Dafoe. But I'm worried about it because I think some of what made Heavy Rain so cool was it was new and it was fresh and it felt good and original. And I'm afraid that now that I don't have that same feeling because I have played it, that Beyond Two Souls, the cracks are going to kind of show more.
I will say that. Yeah, I will say this, that it's not as good as Heavy Rain. It is good. It's cool though, but it's not as good as Heavy Rain.
Let me ask you real quick. So, kind of on the same vein, but you saw with Uncharted that their lead writer left.
Yeah, I was kind of upset about that.
Yeah, does that make you worry for Uncharted 4?
It does, because obviously one of the best things about Uncharted was the story. And she wrote she wrote all of them, and now I don't think she wrote the Vita one. I don't know if she did.
Yeah, I know she wrote 2 and 3. She may have written 1. I'm not sure.
But not many people like the Vita Uncharted anyway. So if she didn't write that one, that might be why.
Did you play that one?
No, I don't even have a Vita.
I was about to say, I was like, do we know anyone who actually has a Vita? Does anyone
I
on
hope
this
not.
podcast have a Vita?
I hope not.
No.
Okay,
All
good. All right.
The only way I would get a Vita is when they do that whole when they're gonna package the PS4 and the Vita together.
Yeah, I can see that. The only guy I knew that had a Vita actually used it just to have portable porn. I wish I was joking about that, but he wanted to watch it, or he wanted to get it so he could watch the, what is it called, UMD movies or whatever. Well, the Vita, I think, was the one that quit doing UMD movies. And so now he just, last he had it, he may have sold it now, but he was just using it for porn. But the games, most of the games on there were horrible.
I'll be honest, I had a PSP, and I did put porn on it at one point because that's what everybody was doing.
Of course you did.
That was everybody was doing. That was hip at the time, okay? And the games sucked. So
is that what was hip in the streets? Is to walk around with porn in your damn pocket on your Vita?
This is back in the day, all right? This is back in the days of PSP. I put porn on it, all right? I'm not ashamed. The game sucked. I spent a lot of money on it, and if that's all I could do with it, then, hey, it is what it is.
Oh, man.
Like $20, wasn't it, at the time?
You know what? That says so much about you.
Hey, I can't knock the guy for his honesty, man.
I spent $200 on that. I'm going to get my use out of it somehow.
Oh, man.
All right, is there anything else? Jeez.
I just thought of a game that I would like Telltale to make a game out of, and it would be cool because it won't be too serious, and it'll actually be kind of funny. I'd like them to try to do a Scooby-Doo game. I don't know why. I think.
Oh yeah, no. That's a good idea. I don't know why they haven't done that.
Yeah, that would
other than licensing. Right now, you can go see Scooby-Doo with the WWE wrestlers in the Mystery of WrestleMania is what's coming out.
I'd be lying if I say I'm not chomping at the bit for that one.
Okay, I'm not chomping at the bit for that one, but I will watch it eventually. Because I used to really like Scooby-Doo, and it's wrestling. I'll give it a shot,
I love Scooby-Doo.
The only other thing that I saw this week, and I actually saw it the other, kind of like Chris said with Shaq Fu, I saw it last week, and I'm like, that's got to be a joke. And then I saw it this week, and I realized it wasn't. The Goat Simulator game.
Oh my
God. I still thought it was a joke until now.
Apparently that is not a joke. I mean, come on, if they came out with the Warehouse and Logistics Simulator, I mean, they put a zombie mode in there just so the game wouldn't be utter boring shit, and it still was.
What are they simming in Goat?
In Warehouse and Logistics?
No, the Goat one.
Oh,
you're a goat. What else do you do?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do? No, I'm saying,
you eat shit, you
there has to be something else. You have to do something else.
You're a goat and you do goat-like activities.
Does he have superpowers?
I watched a 30-second trailer, and it was a guy running around getting, just being a goat. Like, he did get hit by a car at one point. I think there are like mods and stuff, or maybe not mods, but stuff built in where you can give the goat like super speed and shit like that.
New goats, 100%.
Because this is how you have to make simulators good now. Like, I expect the next tractor simulator will have a tank mode. That's my guess. No, it'll be a flying tank. It'll be a flying tank with napalm. I can see this going well, actually.
They sold me on goat.
Is that you just that big of a fan of goats?
After that big a fan of goats.
As long as the game puts in goats, it's a seller. All right, so is that it? Anybody have anything to say before we close?
When's your next Walking Dead video coming out?
Oh yeah. So now that this shit's out, have people stopped asking? Are you still getting?
You know what annoyed me? I put up the first one of Walking Dead, and somebody commented. I think he said it's about time you continue this series. It wasn't fucking out. Like I've been holding off just to do it or something.
Hey, no
because you don't love your fans, apparently.
Yeah, no offense, man, but some of the people who subscribe to you just don't keep up with shit. Ain't too bright.
Apparently they don't follow any gaming news. They just think I have like Walking Dead. The whole thing is out, and I'm just playing whatever I feel like.
You're like you got an insight or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't have any questions, obviously, because the episode messed up. And we're going to put out the episode about nothing. Well, it's already out if you're listening to this. Thanks, everybody, for checking it out. Everybody's Twitter is in the description. There's Infamous, Scoops,
Short one this week.
Chris, and Ulysses.
Yeah, technical difficulties have made this episode a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So,
And angrier.
and Infamous being unprofessional.
Get out of it. Okay, anyway.
Extremely professional.
Just for that, your Twitter account will not be in the description.
That's bullshit, sir.
Chris and
You won't
Ulysses.
even put my goddamn YouTube page in there.
You gotta pick one. You can't have both.
Put yours in twice. Put
Bullshit.
yours in twice, and then Steven's not in at all.
All right, we'll put Steve. All right, no, Steve's not going. Me, Chris, and Ulysses. Thank everybody for watching. We are not watching and listening. We're out. Bye.
Just
This
staring
is
at
wrong.
our
This
phones.
is injustice.